On this calm and moonlit night, the world shall witness a terrible fright. A VTuber of blackest malice within their floating palace unleashes revenge upon the world with their rage now unfurled, bringing death incessant. I now present Kompeko, 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 Hololive Sanki Sen no. Cut! What are you doing? Let's try this again. Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Cut! What is wrong with you? Do it again. Hi, honey. Stop, stop, stop. You're doing this all wrong. Why? Well, I feel like you're misrepresenting me. I really wanted to remedy that by making a humorous first impression. You are the Demon Lord of Venesis, the former Demon Lord of Venesis. You are the Butcher of Heroes. I mean, yes, that is a title they called me. The Twilight Charlatan. I mean, that one's just a funny story, really. The Devourer of Gods. Okay, I have no idea why they started to call me that one, but for real, that intro of all is all wrong. I mean, I'm not out here for world domination or whatever you think I'm out here for. Also, who rhymes night with fright? That's so overdone and totally a cliche. Look, if you don't want me introducing you like that, then do it yourself. Maybe I will. Disembodied voice who is totally not me. Let's do this again, and I will totally do it better. On this dark, moonlit night, a new script I must write, because the last one was total trite. A new VTuber makes their debut, so be sure to give them a view. The revenge of a former demon lord, but no need to bring your sword. All this mage wants is fun, and the occasional pun. So without further ado, I bring you Konjour, amis-tachi. Je m'appelle Alexei du Manewat. I mean, not really much of a demon lord nowadays, more of a meme lord if you ask me. So why am I debuting? Well, Holostier's EN isn't a thing yet, and I really wanted to be a VTuber. Why? Well, there was a chapter of my life where I felt trapped and powerless to resist the cruel fate of a cold and uncaring world. I mean, during that time, I fell down the VTuber rabbit hole, and it really helped me come out of that and stop feeling so trapped and realize that I didn't have to stay trapped. I could fight and rebel against the world, and I decided to become a VTuber and maybe help others the way they helped me. I'm not in this for the fame. I just want to share the light that was shared with me by the other people that I watched online, and I figured I could do my best to try that. But that's enough about that. Let's get into the intro, shall we? So, as I said before, my name is Alexei du Manewat. That is Alexei of the town of Manewat. Blah 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 blah. You may be thinking, Konjour, amis-tachi. This guy could speak Japanese and French. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but je ne parle pas François et Nihongo ga hanase. Nihongo ga hanase. Nihongo ga hanase masen. I mean, that just goes to show you that I really cannot speak Japanese all that well. English is really the only language I can have a conversation in. My age, kind of forgot. You're living up in a floating palace for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. You lose track of time. Like, days pass, years pass, centuries pass, maybe millennia passed. I wasn't really paying attention. So we just kind of went for that. Race, human, I know. Why human can't be demon lord. See, that's where you're wrong. A lot of people are like, hey, Alexei, you're born a human. You can't be a demon lord. You gotta be a demon for that. And, one of the people who said that was the previous demon lord. Long story short, they are no longer around. I was the demon lord for a very long time. I got bored and retired and didn't leave anyone to fill my space, so there's going to be a power struggle, but that's not my problem. I'm in a completely different world now. Okay, yeah, we're going to address this. Pronouns, they, them. Newsflash, I am agender. What does that mean? That means I wish to associate with neither males nor females, or at least on the gender side of things. So, I will interact with people as I see fit. But I don't feel myself being labeled one way or the other, so I'm just like, I ain't doing with gender. I have none. I've got all out of gender. You know, they, them, totally my preferred pronouns. He, him, I'm not gonna fault you for that. You know, maybe you're like, I don't think people with agenders should be a thing. And be like, well, you're watching an agender streamer, but you know, that's whatever. You can call me he, him if you really want to. You know, if you've got if you're closeted about being pro-trans rights, with that whatnot, and really, if you misgender me, that's kind of fine. Like, you know, you can say, hey, this guy's a pretty cool dude. You know, like, you've got no malicious intent behind that. You know, that's fine. If it accidentally slips out, you know, you can call me a guy, you can call me a man, you can call me best girl if you really feel like it. I'm not going to get upset about that. I get validation from friends and family, so I don't really need validation online, and, you know, I'm used to the hate, so bring it on. Birthday, September 28th. I almost said the year. That would be bad. I forgot how old I am, so therefore I forgot the year that I was born, right? My hobbies. I mean, I've got a lot of hobbies, to be real here. Anime, gaming, tabletop RPGs, light novels, manga, you know. Basically, the main one is tabletop RPGs, preferably the fantasy stuff, D&D, 5e, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I tried Genesis, I played some of the 40k games, not really that big into sci-fi, but, you know. I played some others, can't really remember them right now. A lot of my hobbies I took up just to get better at game, you know, being a game master. I learned a little bit about voice acting just so I could do more voices, even though not the greatest. Anime, games, light novels, mangas, those all have interesting plot points that I sometimes borrow from or steal ideas. You know, sometimes, you know, for the memes, I just like throw a character in. Totally. But anyway, alignment, true neutral. I aspire to be more of the neutral chaotic good, but, you know, sometimes I just feel very lawful evil, and struggling to be good. I've got bad in me to deal with it. Okay, sexuality. I don't even like saying that word. I'm asexual. What does that mean? That means I do not experience sexual attraction in any way. Does that mean I am immune to horny jail? No, because asexual does not necessarily mean that you do not have a libido, or libido, whatever that word is. Some kind of word. You know, some asexuals do, some don't. What's that word beside it? That's what WTF romantic. I almost swore there. You don't swear. That means I do not have any understanding of what romantic attraction is. Is this romantic attraction? Is this romantic attraction? I have no idea. Does that mean, well, you know, and we're going to go into arguments about asexual being like, hey, maybe you just haven't had good sex. Well, you know, you neither have any of your previous lovers. But that's besides the point. Right now, I do not experience sexual attraction. So, you know, accept me for that, or, you know, move on. I'm sure there's other people that you can watch and enjoy the content of if you don't think this. Also, I might not be asexual because, you know, I don't know what romantic attraction is. Maybe I'm just demisexual and don't know what, you know, haven't met anyone that I've actually, like, bonded to. Anyway, if you want more info on sexuality, I'm not really the best guide to. I just wanted to open with this. I am a VTuber who is agender and asexual. I am not an asexual agender VTuber. I just wanted to let you know this little part of me. I do not want it to be the main part of my identity. I want you to like me to who I am, not for what I stand for. Anyway, my gaming personality. If you don't know what this is, there is a very lovely quiz that can tell you, like, your gaming profile. Or actually, let me pull up the gamer motivation profile. I am an acrobat / bounty hunter. What does that mean? Basically, I am a very strong solo player who loves to take on challenging, difficult gameplay and practice it over and over, dying over and over, suffering and over until I can do it and be like, look at me, look how good I have this game I am. Bounty hunters basically just want to go play around in their own world, do their own thing, and cause destruction and mayhem, and they love power progression. So essentially, I love to do things by myself and play Dark Souls. That's really about this. Next thing we should probably talk about my channel's rules. Let's get rid of this and throw up the rules. I got 4 rules. Very easy to understand. respect other viewers. Well, what does that mean? That means don't abuse, harass, torment, threaten, embarrass, defame, or discriminate against another person or person in the chat and comments. You know? We're not here to start hate wars, or flame wars, or whatever you want to call it. Don't make fun of other people for disagreeing with you. Don't hate on other people for having different opinions than yours. Keep it respectful. But remember, if you are not pro-trans rights, this might not be the place for you to be vocal about that. You know, keep that to yourself. I'm not going to hate you for it. You know, everybody has to come to accept that their own, and I didn't accept trans rights right away. That took me quite some time, and, you know, I'm better for it, but, you know, it's part of their journey. They're going to have to accept it. I can't force them to. And in the meantime, I don't think that they should be excluded as long as they are not, you know, spreading hate. Don't spam or troll. Rule 2. That's pretty obvious. Accounts that spam or troll should just be blocked, reported, and ignored. Don't feed the trolls. Also, very self-explanatory. Rule 3. Keep conversation relevant to the topic at hand. You know, don't have personal or off-topic discussion in chat. You know, I want to talk to you guys. You guys talking to each other doesn't really give me much to talk about. Don't bring up the names of other VTubers, streamers, or people of renown. You know, don't talk about celebrities. Don't talk about things unless it's relevant. You know, I don't want to share my opinions on everything because I have some negative opinions, and I don't want to, like, publicly defame somebody or humiliate somebody or talk about my negative experiences. I'd like to keep things positive. Talk about things I like, not the things that I don't like. And, you know, if I'm talking about something and talking about something adjacent to it, you know, you're like, hey, I'm talking about this anime. And you're like, hey, did you know that this anime has a movie? And they're like, what? You know, that's exciting. You know, I'm totally for that. Thank you for sharing this with me. But, you know, if I'm talking about anime, I'd be like, hey, did you hear about this event that has nothing to do with anime is happening? I will be like, why are you telling me this? We are having a discussion about said anime. So yeah, don't talk about X. You know, hey, did you hear about X? As long as it's X's things. And, you know, X is not going to give me anything. I don't care if he's going to deliver it for me. I don't want what X is giving to me. Keep my name out of the chat of VTuber streams unless it obeys their rules. So, you know, other VTubers and stuff also will probably have similar rules of don't talk about other things. I don't want you bringing me into the conversation unless it's relevant. That is all. Rules are fun. I like making rules. I used to be a former rules mod in the fashion community, but that is all I'm going to say about that. I stepped down. I'm out. Let's also talk about my strengths and weaknesses, shall we? Oh god, the weaknesses are really hard to read. I didn't realize that. Anyway, my strengths. I have sweet teeth. Sweet teeth. Every tooth in my mouth is sweet. There's a sweet tooth. I can stomach endless amounts of sweets. Overpoweringly sweet things. Sweet things that no human should be able to stomach. I love. I'm a meditative grinder. What does that mean? That means I play Disgaea. And I will sit down for 4 hours and play a video game and be like, let's do this. Let's do this same repetitive task over and over and over and over. I find that fun. You know, I enjoy rhythm games. You know, I used to not have rhythm, and it was very interesting having to develop rhythm and be like, this is how rhythm works, and, you know, I actually enjoy it. It's also very meditative, relaxing. Okay, actually, no, it's not relaxing sometimes, but we'll talk about that later. Game mastering, you know, I love tabletop RPGs, mainly talking about Pathfinder 2e and 5e. Which ones do I like more of those two? Well, if I'm gonna be a player, I'd rather play in Pathfinder 2e just because it seems more fun with all the character options and stuff. Whereas if I was gonna run a game, I'd rather run it in 5e, which, you know, seems counterintuitive, but 5e is so minimalistic that it's very easy to introduce new classes or mechanics to the game. And that kind of goes with what I do as a game master, and be like, okay, here's the base game. Here's like 7 expansion packs of the stuff I do, and introduce rules relevant to the campaign and classes relevant to the campaign. You know, I'm a very chill, relaxed person, and it's very hard to rattle me. I say. You know, trust me. Just gonna have to take my word on this. RPGs. I love RPGs. I love roguelikes. I love Souls games, and, you know, what's my favorite Souls game? It's probably Code Vein. Code Vein was very easy compared to other Souls games. And, what's my least favorite Souls game that I've played? I don't want to call it least favorite, but it's, okay, wait, least favorite Dark Souls 2. Other one, Bloodborne. I really like Bloodborne's lore. I really tried to get into it. I do not enjoy its mechanics. Alright, weaknesses. Lungs. Ugh. My lungs are very bad. I have had asthma, I have had pneumonia, I have not had a punctured lung. I was about to say I've had my lungs punctured. I was going to say I've had everything wrong with my lungs that can go wrong with them, except for being punctured. I think. Probably. But anyway, I have very bad lung capacity, and it's kind of bad. It's hard to talk. No, it's not really hard to talk. Singing is really hard, but I still do it. Horror games. Oh goodness, do I not have a stomach for anything even remotely spooky. Like, let me tell you this. Little kid Alexei, actually adult Alexei is terrified of the Big Octos in Legend of Zelda. If you play like the first 3 notes of the Big Octo theme, I literally get chills. Chills and anxiety. Rhythm games. As I said, I like rhythm games. Am I the best at them? No. Why? Because anxiety. It is very hard to play it perfectly without missing a single note, as is the standard in many rhythm games. I can't do that very good. Impatient. Yes, very impatient. I don't like waiting. Ever. No waiting. We do things. Reckless. We don't think about things. Reckless and impatient, they go hand in hand. Why do we think about this when we could just do this and see what happens? Too honest. Somebody is a little bit of a narcissist. We're just tooting our own horn on that one. Alright, anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about for that stuff. Let's get rid of that. Strengths and weaknesses. Bye. What else can we talk about? What do I want to do on this channel? Well, mostly I want to play video games. That is self-explanatory. Video games are very cool. Let's put this thing back up. I love video games. I want to play lots of video games on the channel, and we're gonna just play video games. Most of the video games I'm probably gonna play are gonna be like action RPGs kind of stuff. I want to do obscure JRPGs because sometimes nobody else plays them, and then like 6 years down the road, you're the only walkthrough video, and people are still commenting on your video, being like, "Thanks for helping." If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't blame you. There's probably like only 80 some people in this world who understand what's going on, but that's a different time. We're gonna do karaoke stuff, maybe, probably not. I don't really have a lot of confidence in my singing voice, but we'll do it. D&D stuff. Oh yes, I would love to do D&D stuff. I'm actually working on my own system called Hand of Heroes. It is a card-based RPG. I wanted it to be very newbie-friendly and accessible. So all of your actions in combat are represented with cards. You just get a hand of cards, and that is what you can do in combat. There's no obscure things being like, well, I want to use the ready action and disengage. And also take my 5-foot step. Like, no. That's all included. Ready actions don't exist. Disengage action is basically that, because attacks of opportunity kind of don't exist. It's fine. I will show you some preview cards. I'm recording all of this. Why not do it live? Because I don't trust myself. I've already made a whole bunch of mistakes, and I can fix that in editing. If I make a bunch of mistakes on my first stream, that makes me sad. So we're gonna fix it, and I apologize for not being good enough to know what I'm doing to do this live, but we'll figure it out, and maybe one day I'll be good enough to do stuff like this live. But anyway, onto the system I was talking about. It's called Hand of Heroes. We already talked about that. First card. So, again, you got a hand of your essential cards. So, basic move. What does this card mean? It means you play it, you move, it goes back to your hand. It's eternal, it's essential. You can't get rid of it. You can't do anything with it other than play it. It's not very good, but you know, everybody's gotta have a move card. Other cards, you know, that's your essential card. Your race also gives you some cards. Like this one's from the Natural Demi-Beast. It's Prey's Instinct. Start of the turn, gain Conceal 3. Quick. That means quick card. It means you can play it without ending your turn. It has a start of turn effect. It's a defensive style. You can have up to 3 different styles active at a time. Your offensive, defensive, and utility style. This is a defensive style. It gives you 3 conceal. So that means the first time you take damage on your turn, reduce it by 3. That's what concealed is. That's what you get from being a natural demi-beast. What's a natural demi-beast? Well, we'll probably make videos on my fantasy setting, which is not Vedasis. Vedasis is where I'm from, and I feel like taking ideas from Vedasis is kind of plagiarism, even though it's a fantasy world from not Earth, and I don't think anybody else is from there, so nobody could call me out on it, but it doesn't feel right. We gotta have another world, and I haven't named this world that I'm working on anyway. Card number 3. You get cards from having ranks and skills. This is from Athletics. Chase. It lets you move twice. Interrupt. Exhaust. What does all this mean? Well, it means interrupt. It means you can play it on somebody else's turn. So if somebody runs away from you, you're like, BAM! Chase! And you move twice to catch up with it. Or, technically, as this card is written, somebody moves, you play BAM! Chase! I'm chasing the escape route. And you run away. You know, it's just, chase is just a word. You can just run and do things. Exhaust. Exhaust means once you play it, it's gone. It doesn't go to discard. You can't play it again until new combat. Is that how exhaust works? We're still figuring out how the system works. It has been a while since I've done any playtests with it. And we're still figuring out rest mechanics. I'm trying to just get all the classes done. There's been a lot of classes. And then I'm going to worry about mechanics such as resting. What does exhaust do? Just know that once you play it, you can't play it again this combat. Asterisk. There are some ways to do that, but you know, these are other cards that may or may not exist. Wow, I am doing not a great job of explaining things. That is very me. Anyway. Card number 4. Prayer of Protection. This is a class card. This is from the Acolyte basic class. What's the basic class, you might ask? Well, that's one of the 6 classes you start as. You start as these basic classes, and then you get somebody to teach you, and you become an advanced class based on your basic class. Like an Acolyte can't become a sniper, but an archer can become a sniper. An Acolyte can't be an assassin, but a thief can be an assassin. And a thief can't be a bishop. Doesn't make sense. So anyway, how do spells work? Well, you have 0 charge. That's the little X symbol. That's how much charge it costs. X can be any number between 1 and 100, 1,000, million, bajillion. And you play cards throughout combat gaining charge. Charge goes away when you rest. So instead of being the big maves, being like, I'm gonna blow all my big spells and then be down with little things and I'll be useless, you're like, I'm gonna cast my little spells and work my way up to the big ones, so BAM! 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 Fire off the big spells. So what does Prayer of Protection do? Well, it targets X amount of people. It gives them +1 armor, which makes them take 1 less damage. And it lasts for X many turns. And once you play it, you can't play it again this combat. It's pretty good. That's what spells do. All spells have mana costs. Not all of them are X. We also have another thing called finishers. Finishers are really cool. They are for martial characters. When you play a finisher, you exhaust a number of cards in your hand, one or more, and that becomes the exile value. So example for this one, this is the Monk's Flurry of Blows. You exile a number of cards in your hand. You can't exile your essential stuff. You can't do anything with essential stuff other than play it. That's what we talked about this. So you get rid of the stuff that you think you're not going to need for the rest of the combat and make Flurry of Blows be a big thing. So it deals your punch damage plus the amount of cards you exiled, and then you can multi-attack exile, which means you can make X a number of additional attacks. So, you know, you play this card, you exile 2 other cards, you do your punch damage plus 2, and then you do this. You do this twice. It's pretty good. You punch him twice. You know, if you discard your whole hand of like say 4 or 5 cards, 4 or 5 cards, it's you punch a guy 4 times. But the downside is you're out of cards. You're down to just whatever basic cards you left in your essential stuff. It's not a good time. So it's very risk-rewardy in that sense. And once again, exhausted cards come back when you finish a rest. So there's always like, do we keep going? Do we lose our charge to get all our cards back and get some HP back? Or do we keep going with all our styles equipped, with all our spells going, with all our charge stored? This is a fun game, and you know, I can't wait to work more on it. But the problem is, I have a job now because buying a good computer with a nice fancy graphics card and a VTuber avatar, that's expensive. And while I'd love to do this full time, I gotta eat. I can't just throw a ring of sustenance on myself anymore. Oh, I miss rings of sustenance. Those were great. Just freaking lays about for days on days on end. But anyway, let's talk about things I like. Video games that I like. Disgaea. What do I like about Disgaea? Well, I played Disgaea 5 and it was amazing. I had a great time. And then it was done the game, finished the main story, and the tutorial's over. The world is your oyster. I'm like, oh, I can do grinding now. I can grind to 9,999. I can do it again. I can grind to max stats. And I did grind to max stats in that game. And then you can fight some of the Carnage bosses. And I fought 2 out of the Carnage bosses. I didn't fight Carnage Bale. Carnage Bale is insane. Anybody who fights Carnage Bale, you have my respect. That was too much for me. Thanks, Squinty Eye. Other games. Etrian Odyssey. I heckin' love Etrian Odyssey. It is my favorite game series of all time. Will I stream it? No. Why? Because I don't know how to stream on 3DS. I think you gotta buy like a very specific 3DS. And since the 3DS is kind of discontinued at this point, I'm not gonna do it. If there's an Etrian Odyssey on Switch ever, I will stream it. 100%. Money back guarantee. I will also stream Disgaea 6 when it comes out. That one I can say with certainty. Other games that I liked. Beat Saber. I don't know if I can stream Beat Saber on account of it is me just playing a lot of copyrighted music. That doesn't seem very good for a YouTube channel that wishes to exist. Project Diva. Also, don't know if I will stream it, mainly because I'm not very good. And also because Vocaloid music, I'm not sure if it is okay to play on stream or not. And if I don't know, I'm gonna play it safe. Other games that I like. Dark Souls. I like Dark Souls 3. I like Code Vein. I like Dark Souls 1. I wish I liked Bloodborne. I wanted to play Sekiro, but I never did, so I probably won't. I love Metroidvanias like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, not so much. I didn't like the whole DS thing in Headgate. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That was Koji Igarashi game, so I loved it. It was fun. Let's talk about light novels. I have a gigantic collection that started when I worked, because I worked in a very place that had a lot of downtime. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring some books, and I read. And some of my favorite books, let's talk about Overlord. I love Overlord because it's very D&D inspired. I think like the author even went and said like, hey, when I was writing Overlord, I was a little bit like upset because my D&D group fell apart, and I wanted to take those emotions and write a story about it, and my eyes keep blinking. We gotta hold them open. Look at the camera. I wish my eye tracks was a little bit better, but anyway. Other games. We're looking over at my bookshelf. My bookshelf is very massive. The Saga of Tanya the Evil. I really like that. I really like it watching it alongside the anime, because the anime is more action-oriented, where the book is more Tanya's inner thoughts. It's very interesting having the both side by side, and even though the anime has taken some adaptations, not adaptations, some interpretations of things and changed things very slightly, the gist of it is the same. Other books. The Rising of the Shield Hero. I was very excited when that got an anime, and then I remembered, oh no, that means it's gonna get popular. Adjust my hipster glasses. But no, Shield Hero is really great. I think they ended at like volume 3, and here I am sitting at like the end of volume 18. Being like, alright, this anime is gonna take some time to catch up. Other stuff that I like to read. ReZero. The ReZero anime is right where the books I have ended. Give me more anime or give me more books. I need to know what happens in ReZero. You have to tell me. But no spoilers. I need to figure this out on my own. Other fun stuff. Okay, no. I said fun stuff. We're not going to talk about Goblin Slayer. The only reason I read Goblin Slayer, instead of like dropping it and throwing it out after book 1, was because I ordered books 1 through 3. I think 1 through 3, 1 through 4, all at the same time. And I'm like, I'm gonna finish reading these. And actually, I'm glad that it went this way, because book 1 is super dark. Books later, not nearly as dark. The book 1 sold you on the fact that goblins are terrible, they need to be eradicated from this world, and they did a very good job of doing that. So props to the author. Also, another D&D inspired fantasy world. I love those. The devil is a part-timer, for obvious reasons. It is very similar to me. Actually, I remember reading it and being like, wow, this reminds me of the times I worked at fast food restaurant. We got manga. What manga do I like? Well, I'm very big on One Piece. By very big, I mean I have literally a shelf, another shelf, and like a little bit of a third shelf of, what is it, 98 volumes? 96 volumes? I'm gonna say 96 volumes of One Piece. Nobody do the math. It's about like $10, $12 a volume. No one tell me how much I spent. I don't even know that information. Other manga that I don't actually own a lot of manga. Hatsune Miku, Bad End Night. I love that series. Hitoshizuku X Yama Triangle. You know, thank you for writing that for quadrilogy of songs. Quadrilogy. Sure. But no, that's not right. Well, you know what? I don't need to know that word. They were good. Also, thank you for writing Party X Party. I like that song for obvious reasons. I guess we've taken the topic of Vocaloid songs that I am thankful for being written. Yes, very much of them. Many Vocaloid songs I like. Can we list a bunch of song producers that I like? Oh boy, Off the Dome Piece, let's go. Wowaka, Deca 27, Marutu, Kairiki Bear, Scop, Hidoshizuki Kasuyama. Oh man, this is a little bit tough. Okay. Eve wrote some stuff. Wada Takeaki, wrote some stuff. Shiru, however you say that name, I really should figure that out. Off the Dome Piece with no looking. Giga, Michi, Ryu, Jesus P himself. Actually, I don't know if Jesus P is, but I really like to say this song was written by Jesus himself. Oh, that's so... that's so blasphemous. I love it. But yeah, your adventure log has vanished. Death should not have taken the, remote controller. Obviously, some good songs. Kira and Circus P. Let's talk about some English song producers. I like both of them. I know it's probably very difficult to have a Japanese program sing in good English, but they do a job of it. I really like them for that. Okay, I have no idea how long I've been recording for. Oh my goodness, we're not even at 30 minutes at this point. I think. I don't know, this should probably be good enough for a debut, friends. So, yes, debut success, question mark. We will see you in whatever first stream I do, whenever that may be. Goodbye. Orinara.